Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Hi, Nireka. Thank you so much for joining. Good morning. Hello, Morel. Hello. How are you today? Good morning, Bongsi. Nice to have you. Thank you so much. We're just trying to get our guests on camera. Good morning, Joanne. Good morning from Malaysia. Hello. Hello, Marwa. How are you today?
Hello, hello, hello. How are you today?
Great. So good to see you. Thank you so much for getting on. Good morning. Good morning, Morel from Toronto, from Montreal, Canada. Good morning, Nereka from Florida. Good morning, Bongsi from Montreal, Canada. We are popular in Montreal today. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you. Good morning. This is Civilized Presence. You are in the right place at the right time, listening to the right message. Thank you so much. I told you I had a surprise for you. We have a special guest this morning. I'm just going to give us like 1 minute more and we will get started. It's going to be a busy morning today. We have so much in stock for you guys. Thank you so much for joining. Yes, Nirika, thank you. I'm so glad that you finally caught me live. Thank you. Happy Friday. Good morning. That is Esther from Nigeria. Wow. Woohoo. Thank you so much. Thank you. We are going to love the title for today. Guys, we are talking about children. Good morning, Shireen. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. Could you just please go down below to the comment and enter in where you're calling from? We would like to know. And just say a quick hello and where you're calling from. We appreciate you. Send us some love. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, Princess Shireen. Good morning, Sibyl. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, we're just going to get this party started. From Canada. We are popular in Canada today. Marwan, I think we should visit Canada. Canada loves us
Wow.
today. It is
Hello.
great.
Hello, everyone. I'm happy to be with you today.
Yes, yes, it's a happy day. It's going to be great today. I am super happy that we have Marwa on the call this morning. It is not very easy to get him, guys, so you're lucky. This is our expert based in Lebanon. Thank you so much, Marwan, for making out time
Thank
to
you,
be here
Louisa,
with
for the
us.
invitation and
Hmm.
today, and thank you for this program because really, this is very important to clarify to people what it is about civility and all what can civility give to people, to
Absolutely.
parents, and so thank you very much.
Absolutely. So, welcome, guys. This is the third session of our Facebook series. Woohoo! We are already here on the third session. It seemed like yesterday. And I just want to let you know that you can have access to me here every Mondays and Fridays at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. You can also follow us on Facebook on our business page on So Unique Experts. We are also on Instagram on So Unique Experts. And if you would like to learn more about what we do, you can visit our website. It's www.thecivility.academy.com. I am going to introduce our guest shortly, and I will just tell you what his website is www.mapowers.com.
And
If
a
we've
dash
never
powers.
Dash
So
Powers, I'm going to
yeah.
have it on the As soon as we're done with the session, I will make sure that I have the right thing there so you can visit him and just see the great work that he is doing in Lebanon. People are talking about the Lebanese food. Marwa,
Yes,
you're
we
going to
have
have to do some work.
yeah, exactly. You're
That's
mostly
right.
welcome, all of you, and especially New Rika. You're
Yes.
welcome to Lebanon.
Great. So if we've never met before, for the purpose of those who will be catching this on replay, this is Civilized Presence. It is a Facebook series. Like I said before, we are here Mondays and Fridays, 7:30 Eastern Time. You will catch me here live. And my name is Louisa Akaiso. I am a certified master civility trainer, a Golden Rule civility statesman, and a leadership coach. And I work confidently with leaders that place great importance on their reputation and themselves. So what we do is help them embrace their unique greatness and live their full potential. Now, you are here this morning because I know that you love this topic and you are all change makers just like me and Marwan. Can you please do us a favor just to like this video and share it on your Facebook page or group, or even tag someone that you think can benefit from this video? Now, the main purpose of this Facebook series was really to restore civility through meaningful and constructive conversations. So what we're trying to do is really break civility down into tiny little bits so that we stop being afraid of what civility is. A lot of times we have so much questions. People think that civility is too complicated. Can I really do it? Do I have to get some kind of training before I get involved? Well, you can get trained if you're going to become a trainer, but you can begin civility today. It's as easy as saying please and thank you. It's as easy as being polite. It's not that hard. And how many of you were able to smile this morning? When I say smile, I mean not just smile to your kids or to your neighbor, but to everyone that you met this morning. I'm smiling to you, so please smile back to me. Now, having said that, it's going to be a busy day today. I'm just going to introduce our guest. So I know you're itching and ready to know who he is. He is Marwa Asmar, and he is one of the first ever certified master civility trainer that we have. He is also an image consultant, a character and life coach, and he is specialized in human behavior. Guess what? He's an author of so many books. One of my favorite is Habits. You need to get a copy. He is also the representative of ICTC worldwide in the Middle East. And I explain what ICTC is the International Civility Trainers Consortium. And that's the governing board. And he is on the board. He is also the founder of MA Powers, Etiquette House, and Civility Experts Lebanon. I was just going to ask you a couple of questions about your awards, Marwan. I know that you won some great awards lately. You got one as a Civility Ambassador, World Civility Ambassador recently. You got another one for the Civility Experts of the Year. And which are the ones have I missed? Because I know that you've been so busy and you've been recognized quite a number of times.
Actually, thank you for the invitation. And until now, there is too much interaction with people. This is very good to know about civility more and more. When no one knows about civility years ago, or not a lot of people that they know about it, we were working on trying to find the way to reach children, parents, teachers, and to tell them about the mindset of civility, because there were a lot of people working in the etiquette field, but
Right.
they were always telling us we're not taking the real benefit from training children and people about etiquette, the adults about business etiquette.
Mm-hmm.
And I told them, after I knew Mrs. Luena Bayer, civility expert worldwide, and they introduced the mind civility to me, I knew that teaching people etiquette and all those tools of kindness is not worthy until they know about the mindset of civility. Because
Great.
yes, because it's really it's the umbrella. If you don't have the umbrella, the mindset of civility, the etiquette is a tool, maybe to lie. It's a tool to lie. So
Absolutely.
so that's why I found the importance of civility, and I began writing my books, the Habits series, and now it's going to be produced in Canada and sold over Amazon. When I began working, that was because one of the children, when we were teaching etiquette, he told me, "You're telling us if a lady is coming into a room, I open the door and I tell her come in. So if she didn't say thank you, should I do this twice?" And that was a very smart question, and
Absolutely.
and other teachers and other trainers of civility, of etiquette, they don't have the answer as easy as I had it, because I
Great.
knew about civility. So
Great.
I told him civility is its own reward. If you want to do this, you do it because you want to do this, not because
Perfect.
only you want her to say thank you. And at that moment, I knew that we need here in the Middle East that people know more about civility, and I began writing the books with the key ideas of civility experts. That's
Great.
why, and then after I did this, and after they studied all the file of my work, and they found that I deserve this reward, and I thank them
I really,
about this.
I really think so too. So we're just going to jump right into the questions because everybody's itchy to learn from you. Now, civility is a theory. And I do know that emotional intelligence, positive communications are forms of practicing civility. So this
Yes.
kind of shows that there's a strong link between emotional intelligence and civility. Can you tell us how this is beneficial to the school system?
Yes, not only in the school system. I have an equation. It's C plus EI equal PH. Civility plus emotional intelligence, it's positive life and happiness. So
Great.
how? How? The main and the most important thing into this link between civility and emotional intelligence is that civility is the key to taking your emotional intelligence into a positive life. So if you have emotional intelligence, that doesn't mean that you will be happy. That doesn't mean that you will be positive. Because most of the people that have emotional intelligence, that know very well how to read their own emotions, that know very well how to read other people's emotions, that know very well how to empathize, we find that those people, they go and use their emotional intelligence for negative things.
Right.
So that's why to be able to take your emotional intelligence into the positive life, into what is positive to you and to others, by controlling your emotions, by knowing the other person's emotions and empathizing, by motivating yourself, as Daniel Goleman has mentioned in his 5 components of emotional intelligence, that and taking your emotional intelligence into a positive life is non-negotiable. So when
Perfect.
it's for you non-negotiable, so that means that you're reaching civility. Emotional
Absolutely.
intelligence is a key, is one of the basics of civility, but the consistency of
Great.
being of taking your emotional at every moment. Why? Because I want to preserve my emotional life and my emotional health. And I'm not responsible of preserving the other people's emotional life. Yes, that's true. But at least I need to protect the other people from my reactions. And this
Right.
is my responsibility. That's
Absolutely.
why by joining the self-awareness with the consistency of taking this self-awareness is will lead us to a civilized person that have moderate reactions, or we don't talk anymore about reaction, we talk about behavior.
Right. Okay, I'm just going to take a break and just say hello to some of our viewers that just jumped on. I have Carolina Tan. I think she's coming from Singapore. Can you just comment? I'm so happy to see you, Carolina, from AITI. I have Emmanuel Ezima, and that is from Nigeria. I have somebody else, Esther Jackson. Can you comment below and let me know where you're calling from? You were so special to us. Naomi Pepsi, could you comment? I do have Buki Odusote, and that's from London, UK. Thank you so much for joining us. We're just going to continue at this point. So another thing that I wanted to bring to your notice, Marwa, is that perspective taking is a critical skill that parents can hand down to their children. And when parents teach their children always to consider other people's perspectives before taking action, it becomes easier for those children to make accurate assumptions about other people's intentions. Now, for me, I would call I would say that is core to resolving interpersonal conflicts. So how is this similar to your program, The Musician in the Heart? I love that program, and I want you to tell people
The
about
head,
it.
in the head.
Yes. And how do you, in the head, Musician in the Head, and how do you, and what kind of program do you currently have in place for parents, that draws on to helping them build positive social skills that they will pass on to their children?
Great. I'm going to begin from the first word that you used, the perception. And in communication between people, let me ask your all the friends here over Facebook, what do you think is the most important key that will shape all the communication between two people? If you have any question, if anyone can answer us, if two people are face to face, will communicate, what is the key that there is something that happened into me and into the other person that will shape all the communication between us? You have, I'm going to count until 10 and then I will say it.
That is great. I guess sometimes there might be a delay in their network. How we listen, someone just responded. How we listen from Morel.
No, let me, it's good, but there is something that will really tell me if I'm gonna listen or not. Something more deep.
Elko Joke says
Also,
interest.
hi, it's Eunice. It's a friend. Eunice, it's more than interest. It's something deep that will tell me if I'm gonna be interested in the other person or not. Understanding and feedback. It's more deep. It's something that gonna tell me that am I interested in understanding the other person? Am I going to give him the right feedback? What? So it is my perception about myself. How do I perceive myself is the key.
Right.
How do you perceive yourself, the other person, is the key. And then,
wow.
And after my perception about myself, I will reach the approach that Bonsi is talking about. So if I perceive myself as someone, or we call it the life position, if my life position is someone that I'm passive, you are good, I'm not good, you are okay, I'm not okay, that will shape all my communication. So that's why this perception, just to link it to your question, Louisa, if I'm gonna teach my children, my daughter, my son, or other people with teachers, if I'm gonna tell them, teach them about perception, I need to show them how do I perceive myself, and I need to be aware about my perception about
Right.
myself. So, because children don't learn from what we tell them, they learn from who we are.
Absolutely. Wow. That is powerful. I'm just going to acknowledge more people. Efe Igiahorn calling from Canada. We are popular in Canada. Udwak Etuk, this is from Canada as well. We have Udeme Inyang, and this is from Nigeria. Great. So I'm going to just give you one more question because of time. Now, across the continents, and I'm sure it's the same thing where you're coming from and amongst different races, bullying in schools continues to raise its ugly head, whether we like it or not. Please expatiate on techniques or method, skills, programs that your organization is putting in place to help curb this, because I think that is something that everyone is affected directly or indirectly. Can you please just talk to us a little bit about any program that you might have, or what your suggestions might be that would help with the bullying, especially in the school system, in the workplace? Over to you, Marwan.
Yes, before I go into this, I have some tips about the parenting when you are with your children. And I'm gonna go from this directly to the bullying part, if you don't mind.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
so if you're talking to your child and you want him to do something, before you go into giving the order, ask him or invite him with your quality of the voice, with your facial expressions and your words, to do what you want him to do. If it doesn't work, try to listen to him why he don't want to do this. And when you listen, you're fulfilling his relational need of being listened, of being accepted, of expressing himself with his own words without any without stopping him from expressing himself. And if it doesn't work, go for a reward. Actually, don't go for a reward that is like a chocolate or something else. Go for something related to his feelings. Reward him with your time being with him. And if it doesn't work, now you can go to order. But if you go to order, don't be aggressive. Be assertive with the quality of your voice. All of what I'm talking about are a series of trainings that will help in listening, in emotional intelligence to controlling yourself, and then in assertiveness and knowing how to say no, and the voice communication. All of these trainings will help you use civility into your family. About the bullying, the most important tip that we can give to teachers or to parents, because this the part of the bullying problem is we cannot solve it without this trio: the child, the parent, and the teacher. The child should know that he can use 3 steps when he is bullied. We call it the no, go, tell. So he say no to the bully, and then he go to the other person, to an adult. They tell him, about what happened, and then this is one tip that he can use. The second one, and the most important one, that will help him in all his life, to teach him to express himself. The child who knows very well how to express himself cannot be bullied easily, because the bully go to the people that are, we call it in that don't disclose, that are always alone, or that are passive in their behavior because they know someone in their family, or it's something related to heredity, I don't know. But if we teach the child how to be assertive, if we let him know what is the strong points and the weak points, when we raise his self-awareness about himself and his perception about himself. And here I'm gonna link it to the musician in my head, because the musician in my head is working on this part. Let me show you. This is the musician in my head. Between Sarah and her friend, he was always angry, and and she told him, Sarah, can I help you? Why you're always angry? Because I feel afraid when I talk to you. So he told her, no, yes, I'm always angry, but let me ask you, I don't see you angry. At any time, I don't see you angry. She told him, yes, I am angry sometimes, but I talk to the musician in my head, and I tell him to play another music so that I will be more comfortable. By saying this, now I'm trying to take the idea of searching for the first feeling, and this is a skill. This is something practical that we are talking about now. When you are angry, the anger is not the first feeling. It's an emotion created by a first feeling. So when you go and search and you ask yourself at the same moment, what's happening with me now? And trying to name the emotion, trying to find the first feeling, the thinking brain come back to work. And the emotion will be lower and lower. If you use this skill at every time, intentionally, bringing your emotion to your brain, it's into your brain, but to your thinking brain, the emotion will go, the high emotion. And the emotion don't have a positive energy or a negative energy. It's a neutral energy. They don't know. They don't think bad or think the emotion or think positive. You take it whenever you want.
Right.
That's why, and this is exactly what I did for children. They don't know that it is emotional intelligence, that's the musician in my head. But the musician in my head is a tool for the child to turn his attention from anger to the thinking, and let the thinking brain begin working instead of the emotions that will take from the thinking brain his capacity of working.
Well, I think that is so powerful. Ladies and gentlemen, you will not believe who is in the house. We have a representative from the Canadian government. This is powerful. ID is on the line. Thank you so much, ID, for joining us from Ottawa, the seat of the government, from the minister's office. I really do appreciate your taking out time to be here. Other people from Canada, Izehi from Canada. We are popular in Canada today. We have AB from Canada. Wow, Marwa, we need to take a walk to Canada. Thank you so much. AK from Virginia. I really do appreciate you all. I know that we're running out of time, and I just have one more question just before you go, because when you have the expert in the house, you ask all the questions. So the last question is this: why does civility really matter now amongst our children? Because we have a lot of parents on the line, and I want them to know that it is also their responsibility to foster civility in the home? They can begin with the children at home. So can you just tell us two reasons why this is extremely important that the parents take it up now? And of course, we do have classes for the parents. If they want some help, they can get some online coaching, whatever it is. But we have to take it to the home. Over to you, Marwa.
Yes. Let me, if I understand that you want me to tell you about some tips how to use
Absolutely,
civility
from the
at home.
parents.
From the
Yes.
parents with the children. Okay. The most
Yes.
important thing that, and we've already said it, the children don't learn from what we tell them. They learn from who we are. So
Absolutely.
the key is to use one of the skills of civility between the father and the mom, and then the children will be affected or impressed indirectly. And this is the most
Great.
important thing. For example, when I use the I message, that is the key for assertiveness, not the I, but the I, the me. With my wife, my daughter will learn how to use it and how to be assertive without telling her that this is a key, or you need to do this or to do that. And that happened in my family. And that happened in the schools that I give trainings in. When I use the assertiveness and I use the I message with my wife, I tell her, you know, when you said whatever, 1, 2, 3, I felt really unappreciated. But I say it, you put the I and then you put the feeling, and you tell the other person what he did. You don't label the person and you tell him you are. You don't use the you message, but you use an I message. It's a whole training that we give, and we train the facial expressions and the quality of the voice to be assertive. I felt really disrespected when you told me 1, 2, 3, 4. And then here, the other person will not feel humiliated. He will just feel a little bit embarrassed because I'm expressing myself. And this is one of the keys of telling the child how to confront a bully, how to confront even his friend that is taking his right. So this skill affected my daughter and affected positively my children. And I have on my website one of my students that she's telling people, it's in English also, it's not in Arabic. She's telling people, when I use the I message with my friends, I feel more comfortable and more confident. And
Great.
this is really something that I experienced. And why am I giving the example of assertiveness and the I message, this skill? Because after Daniel Goleman, June Donaldson came and to tell us that there are 4 cornerstones for the emotional intelligence at every time we use it. One of the most important cornerstone is the assertiveness. Using, because it needs the balance between the power and the energy of aggressiveness, but it's not aggressiveness, and it
Great.
needs the kindness of not being passive but being helpful, going to the
Great.
other person with a need, not with a solution. And here, when you go to the other person with a need, but you don't ask for your need with a bad body language, you just confront. You take the need as something strong. You don't take the need as something that will show your weakness. Here,
Wow.
and this is really, and from this skill and from this characteristic, I'm working on what we call the cosmopolitan child.
Great. Yes, I know the project is coming up, the Cosmopolitan Child. And that is powerful. I'm just going to take a break to acknowledge
Okay.
people coming on. Dr. Simon Caro, thank you so much from Abuja. It's so good to have you. Toby from Canada, thank you. Jessica from Canada, thank you for coming on. And we have Pastor Moses from Ghana. Wow, as soon as the pastor gets in the house, it looks like we're going to round up soon. So just tell us a little bit about the Cosmopolitan Child before we go. We have like 2 more minutes and we should round
Okay.
this up.
Okay. I'm not gonna talk a lot. So I'm just saying to
We are just going to
through
bring you
through
back
sure,
because there's so much we can learn from you.
I will be glad. Uh, Let me tell you something. Through your program and through those people, I'm launching a network worldwide to work to have a think tank. It's not only me to create or to try to find the characteristic of a cosmopolitan child for a generation that will come after 30 years from now. And this generation will be called a Generation C, Civility Generation, because sooner or later we will meet some aliens. And those aliens, when we will meet them, we don't want to meet them with weapons, because maybe we need to have the benefit of the doubt, and then we use civility and handshake at the beginning. And at that moment, civility generation will have different mindsets from now. Different mindsets, especially I'm talking about the region where I live, the Middle East. That is a little bit burning region. That's why I have the need to work on this. It's burning here a little bit. So that's why the children raise with a mindset of war, not a mindset of civility. So they perceive themselves as soldiers. Let's go back to perception. They don't perceive themselves as civilized people. You know the Maslow triangle
Of needs, yes?
yes. So civility is at the top of the triangle. That's why we need to prepare ourselves for a civility generation that will meet, and we can work on it on 6 or 7 children from 7 continents, from Asia, and we take them. If anyone can sponsor this, and we take them from the beginning, and we teach them, we try to teach them about civility with a very clean mindset. As the human being that are into, there is a civility into South America. It's called the Toltec. This is a civility that it's not here anymore because they don't believe in war, and they were killed, all of them. So let's make them survive. Why not?
Great.
So that's why I'm working on this. I'm working on more than one research, and hand in hand we can work with you, Louisa, with all the effort that you're doing.
Absolutely. I really appreciate your being here. I'm looking forward to that. I think the world will be a better place at that time. And just before we go, guys, thank you so much. You've been amazing. I wanted to remind you that this is the month of May. And guess what? It is the Global Civility Awareness Month. If you've never been kind before, if you've never been polite, if you've never had to smile, just do it because of me. We are ready to make the change and make the difference one person at a time. So like I mentioned at the beginning of this session, that I always will be here on Mondays and Fridays at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. As soon as you come on, you will have access to the best of the best in civility all over the world. Thank you so much. It was so great to have you online. It's sad to let you go, but I will see you again on Monday. Have a
Thank you.
wonderful weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, Louisa.